Hello, my name is Michael Wolf, and I'm a terrorist. Seriously, the United States government has called me a terrorist. They called me that in 2013 after I called the Oprah Winfrey Show and had a little argument with a fucking black bitch, fucking cunt intern on the phone, and she decided to call the Newark Police Department and lie to him and tell him I was threatening a fucking convention. Yeah, by the way, I need a lawyer to sue the Oprah Winfrey Show for millions of dollars. I don't think the statute of limitations is up on that. Anyway, so yeah, I'm a terrorist. Okay, the government thinks I'm going to do things to harm people. Well, you know what? They're right. I am a terrorist. And guess what? I'm committing an act of terror right now. You're watching it. So you're seeing it happen. Because this is my terrorism. I tell people things. No, there's nothing else. No, you're not waiting for anything else. That's what I do. I tell people things. To death, sometimes. Or so I'm told. At least that's what they say. Terrorize people by telling them things. On YouTube. So I guess I'm a YouTube terrorist. You think I'm fucking kidding you? This is not a joke, okay? No thing up here says comedy or wherever it would be on your fucking screen. This is not comedy. I'm not being a sit-down comedian right now, or maybe I am, but I'm actually being truthful and serious. I am a terrorist. And I am right now committing an act of terror. Okay, so there's two worlds being expressed there, right? The one world where they say I'm a terrorist, which is, the deep state, the United States of America, and that's all that shit. And then there's the other world where, it's called reality, where I'm not any kind of a terrorist, but they use that term to describe someone like me as a terrorist because they want you to think I'm a bad person. When the only people I'm terrorizing are them. So here's something about me. I have trouble expressing myself, and I don't often express this, but I've tried too many times. I have problems with people hating me. People hate me right off the fucking bat. And I know exactly why. I have a disability. I cannot pretend to not know things about people. And that's a social skill that geniuses have to have. And we're not really good at it. But we have to pretend we don't know things about people. I got good at this, and I'm just now remembering this, by the way, until 2004 when I had suffered permanent brain damage in a house fire. I was really good at pretending not to know things about people. Sometimes I actually got myself to believe it. In fact, most of the time I did. I realized I just, oh, wait a minute, I was actually right about that person. That's the most common thing I ever said. I didn't know people anymore. But, yeah, people hate me because I know more about them than they know about themselves. Because I can see through their fucking lies and shit. So that scares people. And guess what? If one could see behind someone's lies, and someone made a living by lying, well, that person would be a threat, right? Well, let's talk about a little something called the deep state. The deep state. What is the deep state? Well, the deep state, actually, since I've been exposed to it directly now, is just bureaucrats, mostly women, who work mostly in the State Department and other government agencies and in corporations and other places. And it's just this little social network of people that get together and do themselves and each other favors. Illegally and improperly and everything else. But, it's all harmless. Until it's a thriving fucking network of corruption, which is what the deep state is. It's just a bunch of fucking women and a few guys, mostly gay, doing each other fucking favors. That's it. Just people doing each other favors. That's all corruption is. Come to Mexico and find out. Oh, do me a favor. Here's some cash. Yeah, in America, it's like, hey, would you do me a favor? Yeah, I'll send a cake over. Down in Mexico, it's like, hey, do me a favor, I'll give you 5,000 pesos. Who's the smarter people? Huh? Anyway, so that's what the deep state is. And if this little network of people encounters someone who can see into their network and see behind their lies and see what they're actually doing and keep track of every little fucking detail in his fucking head so he knows that things don't add up, that person is a fucking serious threat, aren't they? That person would be someone who would strike fear into their hearts. One might even say that person would strike terror into their hearts and minds. Good one. So, if I can do these things, and I can, and I do, in practice, because I was applying for benefits, and yeah, I noticed the fucking bullshit cheating. Yeah, I noticed the corruption. Absolutely, I did. Did I avoid it and say, oh, okay, this? Fuck, no! No, I fucking confronted head on. You're a bunch of fucking corrupt goddamn fucking cunts cheating and lying, stealing from me. Fuck you. Well, it doesn't go over well when you're a fucking social worker or a government agent or whatever, government employee, you know, and you think you have all this power and some scumbag fucking disability benefits applicant or some shit is telling you that you're this or that. No, it doesn't fucking sit very well. So I got hated, got a reputation for these people. Oh yeah, this guy, watch out for him, he's a real asshole. I actually have documented evidence of them doing this. They warned a psychologist that I got pleasure from watching people suffer. What? Oh God. Oh no, actually, I do. Oh, I would seriously get pleasure from watching that cunt suffer for what she did to me. So yeah, I guess she didn't lie. I do enjoy watching people suffer if they have done me fucking harm or tortured me. Yeah. But anyway. So, January 2013, I call this Oprah Winfrey Show. And this ends in my being called a terrorist a few days later and put on the TECS, or TEC, whatever, terrorist watch list maintained by the Department of Homeland Security, Customs and Border Patrol. Which means I'm not supposed to leave the country, I guess. I don't know. They didn't fucking tell me shit except, where's your gun? Oh, you mean the ones I gave away yesterday? Fuck you, haha. Wait, my antique fucking 22 fucking varmint rifle? You're gonna take that? Because I'm a threat with a fucking 22? Whatever, government. They'd already taken my Browning. Bastards. So, I'm a terrorist. And I'm committing an act of terror. Right now. Are you running and screaming? Are you picking up your injured family member? Are you cowering in fear because the knives are about to strike you, or whatever the fuck terrorists do? I don't know. Have you ever been attacked by a terrorist? Well, I've never been a terrorist before. Well, apparently I've been one all my life. God damn it, I was born a terrorist. But you know what the terrorist label is mostly used for? Well, an example. It's used to tell you who the human beings really are. Because all quote-unquote terrorists are people who are reacting to the assholes that run their fucking lives and torture them. It's the only way they can react. Mostly the government. No, the only terrorists out there striking fear into the people is the government. No, so, yeah, I'm a terrorist. By their government definition, absolutely. I will confess fucking yes. I'm a terrorist by their definition. Yeah, I strike fucking terror into their fucking hearts and minds. They are afraid of me. My God, are they ever afraid of me. Should see what they're doing down here. So, yeah. Like a wolf terrorist. nice to know you. Gosh. I guess I should show off some of my terrorist characteristics. Well, here's one. Speaking of Einstein's an idiot, I sat in, when I was, the first time I was illegally detained in Mexico. It's been 9 times now. First time, I sat down, and because I had nothing to do, nothing to write on, I found something I could write on the wall with, and I decided I would, I don't remember the word right now, but I would, I can't think of the word. It's algebra. You do something with an equation. It's, anyway, I wanted to break down E equals mc squared, if you see what it meant. And so I started breaking it down and started thinking about it. I spent about 2.5 hours, and I finally figured this out. E equals mc squared describes a nuclear explosion. It is math to describe a nuclear explosion. Allow me to show you what I did in 2.5 hours. Okay, the E is energy. Okay, I don't know what the units of energy are, but I do know what the units on the other side of the equation are, which means that the units are the same. Energy is, so the equation is energy E equals m mass times c squared, the speed of light squared. E equals mc squared. C is the speed of light, 300,000 meters per second squared, or 300 million, I can't remember that anymore. Anyway, the numbers don't matter. What matters is the units. So it's E equals mc squared. Energy equals mass in kilograms times the speed of light, 300,000 meters per second squared. So you have kilograms times meters per second squared. Wait, meters per second squared, that sounds familiar. Oh, wait, that's acceleration. That's the unit of acceleration. Okay. What's the number? Oh, the number is important here, actually. What's the number? The speed of light. So the actual number is important, but what it means is important. So you have acceleration at, or something about the speed of light. At or to. Okay. And it's multiplied by kilograms. Oh, wait. There was meters per second. It was meters squared per second squared. I'm sorry. It's kilograms. Meters squared per second squared. Meters per second squared, we know, is acceleration of what? Oh, linear acceleration. It's two-dimensional acceleration, right? Meters per second squared. Meters per second per second. Meters, how far it goes, per second per second. Okay, that makes sense. What's meters squared per second per second? Well, that's meters squared. That's a square meter. That's a plane or a surface or something. Meters squared. So if that is meters squared per second. So instead of linear acceleration, it's acceleration of a surface. Well, what kind of surface could it be? Well, there's only one kind of surface it can be, because it's the only kind of surface that exists as a surface only. A surface with no edges. And this is going to really kick the pants of all you people who think flat earthers are really fucking crazy. Because the earth is flat. At least the surface of it. The surface of a sphere. Think about the surface of a sphere. It is square meters. You measure it in square meters. Or other units. Square meters. Or their derivation. So it fits that. Meters per meter squared. The surface of a sphere. It has no edges. So it's dimensionless, other than its one dimension, which is its area. It doesn't have an edge or circumference, anything like that. It just has one measurement. So the surface of a sphere is what a meters squared is in this equation. It can only be that. There's no other unit. There's no other measurement. So it can only be the surface of a sphere. And it makes sense because we're talking about an explosion. All right. Well, that's jumping ahead, using the conclusion to argue that you can't do that. So, but we know it, right? So we have the surface of a sphere accelerating at the speed of light, but the surface of the sphere has mass. So we have mass in the shape of a surface of a sphere accelerating at the speed of light. What does that mean? That means you have an object, in this case it's a bunch of uranium or plutonium, and it accelerates as the surface of a sphere at the speed of light. Oh, what happened there? Let's slow it down. This is the surface of a sphere. My hands are kind of like representing the surface of a sphere. So the surface of the sphere, which has mass, accelerates at the speed of light. But doesn't have mass anymore. It just has the surface of the sphere. And what is the surface of a sphere from mass? How did the mass become something else? Well, obviously we're talking about an explosion. So the mass was converted to a sphere accelerating at the speed of light. And that's how Einstein discovered that nuclear energy would create this nuclear explosion by converting matter, mass, into energy. So energy comes from an object accelerating in the shape of a sphere at the speed of light. In other words, a nuclear explosion. Yeah, this is what terrorists do. Yeah. So anyway, oh, scared you, didn't I? See, I'm a terrorist. Let me actually commit real terrorism right now. You ready for it? You ready for it? The U.S. consulate is involved in murder and drug trade and torture of refugees in La Paz, Baja California Sur, Mexico. Again, the U.S. consulate is involved in the drug trade and in torturing people and killing people here in Mexico. That's terrorism. Because now those people that do these things have to wonder if someone's going to watch this video and believe me and check it out. Watch this video. Believe me. Check it out. And you'll find out for yourself, as I did, that yes, the U.S. consulate is involved in the drug trade, murder, and torture of people, and a lot more down here in Mexico. They're also involved in helping American businesses commit crimes in Mexico, including murder. American businesses, Socorro, Aggressor, Dive Company. TripAdvisor's the worst. Yeah, you remember that case about that person who sued because the TripAdvisor kept taking their review down about their son or daughter or whatever being raped down here in Mexico? Yeah, well, they took mine down about the guy who's been paying the fucking government to torture me. And that's not what I said in the review. I reviewed the place as I saw it and had video and photographic evidence to back it up. And they took my review down because I wasn't a customer. I lived in the marina for 4 years, but I wasn't a customer. Oh, because it was the hotel. I wasn't a guest in a hotel. So TripAdvisor said I couldn't give a review because I didn't stay in the hotel. I only saw everything they did and what they told me. They fucking told me how they launder $250,000 a month made on Socorro Aggressor, which is booked out of the United States, through rented rooms with no clients in their hotel. And how they do all kinds of favors. And the only people that do stay in their hotel are government officials and others that they're bribing. Yeah, anyway. So telling you these things, that's terrorism. What? So the government says is that I'm a terrorist. And the government is right. To them, I am a terrorist. Because they're not your government. They're a bunch of fucking assholes that took it over. they started taking it over and really made progress by 1860. So, 1860. Some kind of war between. Oh yeah, what was it? A little bit of a constitutional crisis around then. Anyway, so I'm a terrorist.